What is happening in AJ Gamer Dude here, and sort of continually going along the line of watching a lot of different types of slice of life shows that have some sort of supernatural elements to them and things like that. This time around, I actually just finished, well, not just finished, probably a few days ago, finished watching Flying Witch, which is based off of a manga series that I've actually read. Though I haven't read the whole thing, I probably only read like the first couple of volumes, and that's really about the size of it. So this is kind of going in with some already preconceived notions of like having a vague idea of what's going on. Now, it's probably worth pointing out that there's no real overarching plot or anything like that. No, instead it's really just more of, very much character driven, episode by episode, things happen type of slice of life. And that's again very similar to the last couple of shows that are very much in a similar light, kind of like Gabriel Dropout or Justin-chan Dropkick. Like, it's all pretty much just episodic based, slice of life, things happen type of episode format. 12 episodes in all, released in 2017 and made by JC Staff. This is a great show, without a doubt. The manga was excellent. I thought that the very sort of simplistic art style, focusing more on like poorly drawn character reactions for their faces, did lend into like the comedy and the humor. It doesn't have like the sort of massive impact or anything. It's more subtle in its humor of like, like for example, Chinatsu as an example, she's like one of the most sort of adorable characters in the entire show, because whenever something absolutely massive happens, she has like just this blank look on her face for like a few seconds before having like this sort of either wow that's so cool kind of like look of like, oh, she's interested in whatever the heck is going on, like say for example flying on a broom, as like a random example. That's what happens in the manga, and in the anime it perfectly captures that sort of reaction that she had, as well as how the whole thing played out. Pretty much it's very easy to see how, when you like look at the pages of the manga, how it would play out in an animated form, and the anime adaptation does a very, very good job of carrying that through. I think the only thing you'd probably miss out on is like what would the characters even sound like, but being taking place in sort of more modern day Aomori, like the Japanese that they're using in the in the show itself is somewhat foreign sounding, because it's probably one of the least easily understood Japanese dialects in all of the entire country, which is Aomori Ben. So they did a great job with like the uncle having like a very thick Aomori accent. Yeah, a bit of a mispronunciation, but it is what it is. This show has a very simplistic art style. The opening is fun. The ending is fun, albeit the ending can get a little bit bland. But even despite that, it's all about sort of just living day to day as like a witch in training, that is just living amongst normal people, and the only people who know that these people are witches are close family, and that's really about the size of it, and that there are kind of witches everywhere, but they don't do like a bunch of evil stuff. It's more just doing stuff that kind of makes things a lot more easier to go on a day-to-day basis. For example, getting from place to place, flying on a broom is a hell of a lot easier than walking to like the corner store down the street. Granted, you probably don't need to go that hard, but like say for example you need to go on like, take the car for like a half an hour drive to like a nice restaurant. Why do that when you could just jump on a broom and then be there, not just faster, but like, you're not really getting hit by any sort of traffic or anything like that. Or making potions. And it's really, the plot is, while I say it's episodic based, it's based off of the actions that the characters take. Like for example, a main character here, she makes a potion that causes unintended side effects, and then the episode then becomes creating a potion. The unintended side effects happen, and then everyone's trying their best to kind of fix those unintended side effects before some other side plot, rears its head. And and everyone's just kind of having a good time. I feel like that's really about the size of it, is that it's such a feel-good, happy show that leaves you with a smile on your face, because it's just a bunch of people doing a bunch of stuff, and it sounds so uninteresting and so boring when I describe it. And yet, the way that the characters are written, the way that everything is put together, it almost and even just the inclusion of the art style, it makes it feel nice to sit through. I'm just sitting there with a massive smile on my face and like this really nice feeling coursing through me about just like, man, I wish it was like a little bit warmer so I could just like, you know, sit outside, stare at the sky for like an hour and a half, not profit much from the venture, and then say I had a good day. You know, go into the backyard, lie down on the grass, just stare at the sky for a bit. It's just nice. But then because I've got, you know, a pet dog, he'll probably just come up and lick me in the face instead. So that's probably less relaxing, but you kind of get the idea. It's all about just this very sort of relaxed atmosphere, this very quiet countryside vibe. That is what the show, I think, leans into the most and is the best about. And yet there is jokes here and there that always seem to hit, no matter what the circumstances are. Maybe it's because it's well written, maybe because we kind of are used to the characters fairly quickly and we get to know and understand them a lot more easily. So we kind of realize, oh, maybe they'll, you know, react in a particular way, and usually they do. But that predictability is not really a bad thing in this case. So I think with all of that said and done, I had a great time watching this show. It is a great show. It is a great adaptation of its original manga, and I just have nothing more to say. I am very happy looking at this show, talking about this show, talking into the microphone right now about this show, thinking back on the memories that I had watching the show. It was so nice. Such a nice show. That's all it is. I don't know what else to say. It is a great show. I'm gonna chuck this into my my anime list. I'm gonna check this in at a 9 out of 10. I had such a good time watching this show. It doesn't need to do anything great or excellent, but by existing itself feels great and excellent on its own, that you kind of don't really need anything else. And I do wish we got more out of it, like another season, but you know, you can only really get so much, and I feel like I'm getting a little bit greedy here. So yeah, let me know what you guys thought about the show in the comments below. I would definitely be interested in hearing your thoughts, especially if you've seen it, and I wonder if you feel the same way, because again, slice of life can be seen as incredibly boring to many people, and that's perfectly understandable. I absolutely do understand that, and that slice of life is not for everyone. But if you're an old man like me who's been watching anime for like, you know, 15-20 years, like at that point you're kind of like only really watching slice of life, because that's what the anime retirement life kind of feels like, almost, in a way, when you kind of seen a little bit of everything, whether it be the shonen era where you're like watching nothing but shonen to start off with, the ecchi era or the edgy era. So edgy is in like, you know, stuff that's like, you know, trying to feel a lot more deeper than it actually is, or a lot more psychological and things like that. But yeah, just let me know what you guys think about that in the comments below. Like the video if you like the show, if you like me sharing my thoughts about the show, and of course subscribe to the channel, aiming for 100 subs by the end of the year. But of course I also do want my videos to go out to more people. But with all of that said and done, I upload every day, so I'll see you guys tomorrow.